Hey guys, welcome into this segment from our full-length The Onside Kick podcast. In order to get the full podcast, go down to the description, go to Blog Talk Radio / The Onside Kick to download the full thing. Enjoy, everybody. And Mark, we're going to move on into our next topic, and we got to talk about Tony Romo. This is the topic, I'll be honest, I wanted to lead the podcast off with, but I kind of wanted it to roll right into our Houston Texan kind of NFL drafty kind of a talk, and I didn't want to put Richard Sherman last, so that's why we're talking about it here in the middle of the podcast. But so basically, Tony Romo, he released by the Cowboys.
You guys remember that guy?
He puts out an Instagram post of him in the CBS tux saying that I guess he's got to start dressing up now. He's going to be an announcer, from what I understand, going to be an announcer on CBS, and basically what is happening is he will be paired with Jim Nantz, and Phil Simms is getting the boot from the CBS broadcasting booth. I'm going to ask you this, though. Is Tony Romo really done playing football? Is he going to be a broadcaster for good now?
It was a weird night because the Amazon thing happened where Amazon's going to have some Thursday Night Football, which I hate that, by the way. And I have Amazon Prime, and I don't like it.
So you have to have Amazon Prime to watch it?
Yes, correct. And I don't like that at all. I mean, it's still going to be on ESPN, I'm sure, or NFL Network or whatever it is on. That's not your local channel. But yeah, I loved it on Twitter. Twitter was great.
Well, because everyone's got Twitter.
Yeah, it's free. It's easy. I like that it was on something free, but you know what? Twitter can't even make any money, so.
True.
What are they going to do?
But we digress.
Anyways, for Tony Romo, he apparently is leaving it open to potentially be able to come back for Dallas and play. But, you know, I feel like that's not going to be that much different than if Aaron Rodgers got hurt and Brett Favre said, you know, I'm available. I'm on the couch right now. I've been on the couch for a few years, but I can put on the cleats. You know, I still got my jersey.
Brett Favre is dead. Leave it.
Yeah. I think that, you know, I love the fact that Tony Romo did not go anywhere else. That he is going to basically retire as a Dallas Cowboy. You know,
but he didn't retire.
He didn't retire.
He
but
just left the game.
Done. I'm going to call that retiring.
See, I'm not calling it retiring. Unless you say I am retiring, you are not retired in my mind. And the thing that I'm starting to think of with this is going to be the equivalent of Brett Favre's Jet years, or Jet year, I should say. CBS is going to be the New York Jets.
So he's going to show his dick?
Maybe. He might. Who knows? He's not going to. Let's be honest.
Dick pics.
Here's the thing that I'm thinking. He goes to CBS for a year.
Yep.
He takes all the pressure is now off. He's now officially, maybe this was the thing to just get him officially released from the Cowboys. Because the big thing when Brett Favre wanted out of Green Bay, or when they were pushing him out of Green Bay, he wanted to go to the Vikings. And the Packers were like, fuck that, we're not trading you to them. We'll trade you over here to New York. In the AFC, have fun, we don't want to see ya. So he goes, plays for the Jets, boom. Then he's with the Vikings. I think this is the same thing. I think the Cowboys, I don't know if they had a plan to trade him. I don't know if the price was too high and they just wanted to try to get an astronomical amount. Or Jerry Jones just didn't want him to play in another uniform, even if that meant in the AFC with the Houston Texans, or he didn't want him to play for another Texas team at all. He wanted him to be a Cowboy. This way it gets him to get out of the contract with the Cowboys. He's officially released. He can go have his TV broadcasting time, and I kind of have a feeling when next offseason rolls around, cha-ching, cha-ching, somebody is going to slide Tony Romo a number, and he's going to go, yeah, I can come back for a year.
Yeah, I don't really see it. I mean, it would be nice for him to be able to have the whole year where his body can get kind of healthy, but you know what? Isn't that every year?
That's another thing, though.
Isn't he every year spending the whole year off?
Doesn't it? And there's teams out there, Mark, like, unless the Texans find their answer this year, we're going to get to them later. They're a team that could still use a quarterback. The Bills, we don't know what's going to happen with Tyrod Taylor at the end of this year. We have no idea. The Broncos,
they know.
The Broncos have a flip-floppy quarterback situation. The Saints, we don't know if this could be Drew Brees' last year. We're not saying it for sure, but who knows? The 49ers could be looking for a quarterback after this year. We have, we've talked about the Chiefs needing one. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be looking for a quarterback at the end of this year. I say to throw it out. And then maybe even like the Browns or the Jaguars. There are teams out there that I think at the end of this year could still be looking for a quarterback and would gladly take Tony Romo. So I think that this is going to be his New York Jet year like Brett Favre. He'll take it off, get some rest, kind of recoup, and then next year come back for a team that is really, truly desperate for a quarterback to help lead their offense.
My issue, and I hate to always come back to age, but he's 37. Well, he's going to be 37 pretty soon. He'll be 38 in your scenario by the time someone is getting him laced up and ready to play. That's too old for a guy who, has not played a full season since 2012. That's the last time he played a full season. Now, to be fair, 2013, 2014, he only missed one game each. But one game last year, 4 games the year before that. It's just, he's too old, he's too injured. He's got to know. I mean, he's got to know that his body will never be the same. He's not going to be able to really do this again.
Well, and the thing that I look at is, we look at the last 2 years for Peyton Manning. He played into 39 was the last year that he played. I want to say Brett Favre played to exactly 40 when he played with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's a different aspect, though. He kind of takes care of his body so well.
Tom Brady's a cyborg.
And he's a cyborg. Brett Favre actually played to 41. And even at the age of 40, that was Brett Favre's amazing season.
It was.
The thing that I kind of think about with this, and my first thought when Tony Romo was like, I'm going to CBS, was I'm like, how many ex-players would look at you right now and go, don't leave unless you really want to leave. Don't feel like you're being forced out of the game, because once you're done,
it's really hard to come back.
It's kind of one of those things where it's hard to come back. I think 1 year, though, especially for a guy like Tony Romo, who I don't think he's just going to sit on the couch.
Really,
and eat potato skins all day.
It's been like 2 years, though. He's been out for 2 years already.
But it's one of those things where he's still keeping in football shape. He's still doing stuff. He's injured, but he's still rehabbing and stuff. And I feel like that isn't going to stop completely just because he's in the CBS broadcast booth. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where he takes this year, does the TV thing, and then goes, you know what? I want one more year, because at the end of the day, what do we all want? Whether it's in life, whether it's in our career, whether it's anything, we want to have the say, I am done because I say I'm done. Not because anyone else pushed me out, kept me. Like, the best tweet that I saw during this whole thing was there was this reporter that kept tweeting day 12 of the Tony Romo hostage crisis. That's what it was. He was a hostage by the Dallas Cowboys, because they well knew that they were not going to use him this upcoming season. I think this was the only way Tony Romo could have been released by the Cowboys. He'll have to do it because he said, hey, I'm going to do it. It's going to be a man of his word. But I think next year a team slides a number to him and he goes, you know what? I got one more. I want one more season. Then I can say I am done on my own terms.
I just can't imagine, and I don't want to keep going in circles.
Yeah.
But I just can't imagine a 38-year-old quarterback who has not played a regular game, has not played a full season in, at that point it'll be 5 years. I cannot imagine the team even taking the risk unless it's like a veteran minimum or something. Or you're not veteran minimum, obviously, but you're giving him $1 or $2 million.
They're not going to pay him a ton of money.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. And once Tony Romo gets in this nice cushy job at CBS where he's got it locked up, because let's do the flip side now. He's going to be 37 years old this time. He's got that job as long as he wants it. As long as he doesn't mess it up. And I'm not really that excited.
The CBS game of the week each week.
Yeah, I'm not really personally that excited about listening to Tony Romo every Sunday.
I'm more excited to listen to him than Phil Simms.
I don't hate Phil Simms. I think he's not that great, but he's not one of the worst ones available. Not a huge... I don't know. I'm just not that excited about listening to Tony Romo. I also think it's a little interesting because usually you have a guy like Ray Lewis or something, he'll get into the post game or something. It's very interesting to have a player just come out and go immediately into calling games. That's not going to be like, the local game only or something.
And I immediately pulled my phone out because I know you read these, but I want the fans to hear these. Our own Sean Anderson did some research work, and he looked up some Phil Simms quotes. God, Sean, these are gems. The first one, Shazier. He's not one of the fastest guys, but he's definitely one of the fastest.
Definitely.
What? Number 2, they have everybody up and are going to make him throw the football. Sean then said this analysis was followed by a handoff and a rushing touchdown. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers pulled out too quick. Number 4, former first-round pick from, I forgot the school. Just right there. I'm like, come on. You got to do your research. This is what the offense is. Formation, screens, passes. Another one. Can they make the tackles? In other words, can they make the tackles? I'm not even gonna go on because this is, to me, an upgrade for if we're gonna talk about the flip side now, this is an upgrade for CBS. They are now, in my mind, got their version, a better version of Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They've got Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
You would assume. I mean, we got to listen to the man talk for a little bit. I mean, we've seen him in conferences. Let's see him talk. I definitely think that people will probably like Tony Romo more. I
mean, he's a likable guy. He's a personable guy.
Yeah, he always seems nice. He always seems friendly.
I'd rather have Tony Romo in the booth than Jay Cutler.
Well, I actually think it'd be kind of fun to have Jay Cutler in there because he'd probably be super snarky. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting. Jay Cutler is the man who's looking for a job, too, somewhere. So, hey, who knows? Maybe Fox wants to fire somebody and get Jay in there. But I think that it's going to be really interesting to see if he does go anywhere, but I cannot imagine him leaving the cushy job. It's so... When you can just sit back and you don't have to do very much of anything, you just have your weekends dedicated to learning who these players are, learning a backstory or two, and then just commentating because he's color. He's not the play-by-play.
No,
he's
that's
the color.
Jimmy Boy. That's Jim Nantz.
He's got the easy job up there. Ricky, I know. I was your guy. I was your color guy. I know that's a cushy job. You do not have to do very much.
Yeah, I was the one calling out all the names, saying what they were doing,
and I was the guy that's going, "Yeah, that's really good."
And that's it.
That's all you got to do.
That's all Mark would do.
That's all you got to do. You got to go, maybe they should try, passing the ball. I don't know.
I totally forgot we did a basketball game once.
We did a few.
Many moons ago.
We did a few. And I just think that for Tony Romo, once you get in this nice, cushy retirement type of job, there's no reason to leave it. His body is destroyed. Just... call quits, Tony. You're done.
One of the last things I want to ask, and I kind of want to talk about, is we talked about the flip side with CBS. We talked about the main thing of, is he really done? I want to kind of ask the question to kind of wrap all this up is, did the Cowboys force this? Is the reason why we're seeing Tony Romo in the broadcast booth because of Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, because of what they did, and they didn't release him early enough? They held on to him, said they were going to trade him, and then eventually didn't. Is the reason he is now a broadcaster for this year because of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys?
I think Jerry Jones has no idea what he's doing. I think he's proved himself that in recent years. At one point in time, maybe he knew what he was doing because there was success for Dallas for a while. But those days are over. And I think that this was very much the, hey, we ended this relationship, but I'm still going to flirt with you, and I'm still going to text you and call you every now and then, but not too much because I don't really want to actually be involved with you. I just don't want you talking to that guy. And I see you talking to that guy, so I'm going to really quickly start ramping it back up, and we're going to maybe, no, now we're done. It's just that constant back and forth, like, Jerry Jones just trying to play a game with this guy.
He's insecure, Mark.
Yeah, he doesn't want Tony to play somewhere else. Tony's his guy. He wants Tony to only want to play in Dallas. And I
He
think
wants
Tony did.
to be the side chick.
Yeah, right. I think that Tony Romo only wanted to play in Dallas. I really believe that, but he didn't want to be done yet. Now, his body gave up on him years ago, but I don't think he wanted to be done yet. And Jerry Jones just found himself in a situation where he's got to go and ride with Dak Prescott because he did it. His hand was forced because of injury, but he had to keep riding with Dak Prescott. And now you have this awkward situation, and he decided he didn't want Tony Romo to play anywhere else. And he did it in a terrible, kind of shitty way.
Yeah, I totally think that the reason why we have Tony Romo in the broadcasting booth is because of the Dallas Cowboys, because they were going to keep him, then they're going to trade him. Oh, now we're going to release him because of the money. No, wait, we're going to trade him. Oh, we could hang on to him. They didn't know what they wanted to do, and eventually Tony was like, fuck it. I'll just go and broadcast. But I do think that he will be back in a uniform, not this season, but next season, a team.
So 2018, this video will pop back up and people will be commenting, hey, Ricky.
I think he'll come back for one more year, at least one more year. Probably only one more year.
Throw a long shot out there. Just name a team.
Houston. I think he comes back to play for Houston. Because it's kind of like the Brett Favre situation. That was the team we talked about before. It's going to be the team that ends up getting him. Because let's be honest, and we're going to talk about this.
Although the Brett Favre situation would probably be more like he ends up in Washington.
Well,
division rival.
I guess, but he didn't want to go to a division rival, and they've got Kirk Cousins.
I don't really know where Tony Romo wanted to go.
Because, I mean, the Giants don't need a quarterback.
None of those teams need a quarterback.
The Eagles don't need a quarterback. That's why I think it's going to be
if you're going to talk about 2018, Kirk Cousins might be gone by then.
Maybe he does end up in a Redskin uniform. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know down below. What do you guys think? Is Tony Romo really done? Are you excited for him on the CBS broadcast? Was this whole thing because of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys? Let us know in the comment section. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that segment from the Onside Kick. If you think the fun stops there, you're wrong, because click the video right over here. What are you thinking? Come on, click it. It's going to go away. It's going to go away. Bye, everybody.